southbound 101 to Ventura Freeway at Coldwater. Right now, you can't do it. Fire department's there. There's a small fire that broke out. Doesn't look enormous or anything, but they are blocking the on-ramp to deal with it. So use Woodman, kick it on, use Laurel Canyon, that'll get you where you need to be. The 101 itself, in between the 405 and the 170 and 134, that's all looking pretty good. And we came through downtown. If you're going to take that right turn off the East 101, South Hollywood Freeway up and over the hill. Still a pretty good drive. There's a little slow about for months, that's about it. And finally, South 405, leading the valley. Boy, oh boy, it's showing its power here this morning. It's real busy. So far, there's no major problems, but we're heading into West LA. Might be something around Sunset Boulevard. I'll let you know. Engine International, this is Superwoman, Superwarrior.com. Jeff Barr, KFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Save on whole chicken for winter dinners at Whole Foods Market. Get Animal Welfare Certified air-chilled whole chicken for $1.99 a pound through January 18th, plus an extra 10% off for Prime members while supplies last. See more on the Whole Foods Market app.
There's this house for sale down the street, and right next to the for sale sign, there's a big dumpster, and it's got wood in it, and paint cans, and I thought, oh, those poor people, they're so old school. They need to sell their home the new-fashioned way with OpenDoor.com. The OpenDoor.com invented this whole new way to sell your home. It's one without the hassle and hurdle of listings, and with OpenDoor, you can skip the hard parts of selling the house. No dumpster. You don't have to do the repairs yourself or any prep. You just go to OpenDoor.com, answer a few really simple questions about your house, bedrooms, bathrooms, and within a few minutes, they're able to give you a real competitive offer for your home. I tried it. I was amazed how quickly the offer came back. And within minutes, try this. OpenDoor.com/KFI, OpenDoor.com/KFI, and sell your home the new-fashioned way. Offer eligibility varies. Opendoor is represented by Opendoor Brokerage Inc., license number 020611130 in California, and Opendoor Brokerage LLC in its other markets. Sell your home the new-fashioned way at OpenDoor.com/KFI.
Open the doors to Aaron Mahnke's Cabinet of Curiosities, a podcast that offers a rare glimpse into some of the most amazing and unbelievable stories taken straight from the pages of history. What you hear may astound you and disturb you. Tune in twice a week for bite-sized storytelling experiences that take listeners on a guided tour of the unbelievable, the unsettling, and the bizarre. Listen to Aaron Mahnke's Cabinet of Curiosities on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Your electric bill keeps going up. The cost of solar has gone way down. It's time to go solar with local veteran-owned Semper Solaris now and get all the benefits. Here's veteran, founder, and owner Kelly Shawhan.
In the military, when you give your word, it's just as your word. Work hard to keep your word. That's what we do every single day. I've heard about Semper Solaris and found that they were veterans. I knew they were going to do the job right.
Add Tesla Powerwall and be ready for blackouts. We get the job done with esprit de corps and honor. Semper Solaris offers new heating and air conditioning systems with a lifetime warranty and new roofs with a 50-year warranty. We hire vets and give back to the community with our Semper Cares initiative. Go solar American style with Semper Solaris. 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2023. Get the federal 26% solar and battery tax credit. Call 877-211-5591 or visit SemperSolaris.com. 26% federal tax credit based on eligibility on approved credit. No percentage license cannot be combined with any other offers. New customers only. Some restrictions apply. Call or see website for details. Expired 1/31/2022. CSW number 9781552.
We've weathered this pandemic by doing our part to protect each other. So let's stick to what's proven to keep us safer from COVID-19 and its variants, like masking up in public indoor settings, getting tested before and after traveling and gathering, and staying home if you feel sick. Let's keep our immunity strong. Visit myturn.ca.gov or call 833-422-4255 to find a vaccine or booster near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
This is Leland Smith, owner of Service Champions Plumbing, Heating, and AC, with another Good Deed for Crew. Our technician Alexander was performing a cleanup recently when he discovered that he needed to run to Home Depot. He asked the customer if he needed anything at Home Depot, and he perked right up. The customer went into his garage and found a specialized screw with an O-ring on the end. He said he needed a few more just like this so he could hang a shade over his pool to keep his grandkids from being sunburned. Alexander found the part. Then when he got back, he said, look, I have the tools, I have the energy, let's go ahead and hang the shade down. The job would have taken our customer an hour to do himself, but the two of them together got the shade up in just 15 minutes. Thanks, Alexander, for doing another good deed for free. We're service champions. Plumbing, heating, AC, and good deeds for free. Service champions, plumbing, heating, AC, and good deeds for free.
I know the weight of the world seems to rest on your shoulders, and sometimes life seems like it's filled only with confusion and chaos. But I assure you, I have a plan for you.
The Jesus Christ Show, Sunday morning at 6 on Kfi Am 640.
More stimulating talk.
Jennifer, Wayne, and me.
Such a scary story. These two women think that their every move was tracked by an Apple AirTag when they were shopping in Orange County. So one of the women gets this notification on her phone, and she says that an Apple AirTag had apparently been tracking her location for a while, and her phone even shows this map that goes from the Target store in Aliso Viejo, where she and her friend had been shopping, back to her house. And we've been hearing this, that criminals will, for these, follow home burglaries or whatever, that they will stick an Apple AirTag, which is like the size of a button, on your car or on your purse or on whatever, however they can track you, and then they just follow the location tracker right back to wherever you go. Now, they never found the AirTag, but the cops say they think that somebody placed it either on the woman's, maybe her purse, on her bag, or did attach it to the car. Oh, Mike's not done.
That's an easy fix, because all you have to do is remove that app. You Find My Phone app, which is a locator. So it depends on whether you've been kidnapped and you're sitting in a basement and no one can find you, or people can track you down. Flip a coin.
Oh my God.
No, but it's true.
It is true,
Yeah.
but what are the chances that somebody's going to track you versus you're going to lose your phone?
It depends who you are. But you're right. I think these are rare instances, and I think that the app makes a lot more sense. But I'm not that much of I'm not going to use the word crazy, because that means everybody's crazy. Okay, I'll use the word crazy. People that are so upset about the kind of surveillance that can be done. So hey, welcome to the world. Don't use the phone. Get 2 cans with a spring. That works.
Well, guy just wanted to help a homeless man and got the crap beat out of him for his efforts. This happened in New York, and there was a homeless guy laying on the sidewalk there, so this Good Samaritan gave him his jacket and was gently covering the homeless man with the jacket when the homeless guy shot up, pushed the other guy down, took his wallet from him, hit him a few times, and fled the scene. They found him not that far away. He's been arrested, and turns out this homeless guy, Xavier Israel, this is the 4th incident that he's implicated in, being violent against people out there.
All right, that's a story. It's horrible. The goodness of people.
All right, you had Derek Chauvin in the George Floyd case. He has already been convicted of murder in that case. Now you've got the 3 other officers who were also there that day, and they have not been given plea deals, according from the Fed. I guess that they were talking about plea deals early on, but that the defense attorney said no way. And as it stands right now, none of them have been offered plea deals in the case.
Well, if they don't agree in principle in discussions, how can you end up with a deal?
That's one. And you also have the politics of this, where you have the Department of Justice agreeing to a lesser sentence under these circumstances in this case. I think it's politically, I would say it's incorrect to do that, to give them some kind of a plea deal. And maybe they just said it's too bad. We have your rights, and we don't care. We'll go to trial. That's fine. Also, why did Chauvin plead guilty? Because he wanted to be in federal prison.
Yes. He didn't want to spend the rest of his days in the state prison in Minnesota.
With Bubba, his new roommate, who weighs 400 pounds and a solid muscle. I mean, you don't need that. And likes you.
That's even worse. You're my new best friend.
Oh, no, I'm not.
You don't say that. You go, yes, I am. Oh.
Okay, an independent report found the police officers who encountered Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie that day in Utah messed it up. You may recall, somebody called the cops and said, hey, there's a guy who's slapping a lady, and gave a description. The cops show up, they see the van. The van crosses a double yellow line, hits a curb. That gives the cops more than enough permission to pull him over. And we saw the video, the body cam video. Gabby Petito's crying. Brian Laundrie looks like he's hiding something, in my opinion. Anyway, what they did wrong is they ended up not treating it, not treating it like domestic violence. They ended up treating it as disorderly conduct. If they had treated it as domestic violence, they would have had to send a report to the DA, and they would have had to arrest or cite somebody. Although, interestingly, they would have had to arrest or cite Gabby, because she admitted to slapping Laundrie, and Laundrie did not admit to touching her. But they're saying, had they done all of that, perhaps she would be alive today.
That's the argument. But they certainly did everything out of policy. So it's, are they going to get fired? Are they going to be reprimanded?
I don't know if so much they were out of policy. This is more a second guessing of their judgment about what to do, which isn't that helpful.
Right. Oh, some news about the movie Rust.
Oh, okay, we can do that one. So I was going to try and close out your domino thing.
I know we can do that.
Can we do that one?
Yeah, of course.
And save the Rust one for later edition?
Yeah.
Okay, so, Handle, yesterday you were freaking out because I told you the news that Domino's said it was going to raise its prices 8 to 10%. Here's my salt in your Domino's wound. Now it says that it's cutting the number of wings in its $7.99 carryout offer from 10 pieces to just 8 because of rising food and labor costs.
Well, everybody's doing that.
Are you a Domino's wings guy?
No, that's why I don't care.
Oh.
They can cut it down to 1 for $9. So I just don't care. Now, raising the price of the pan pizza sausage, that's problematic.
Well, that may be coming too. You're not out of the woods yet.
Oh no, 8 to 10%. They've already said at some point all of Domino's prices will go up.
Well, it has to. Even Caesar's that had a $5 deal. It's now $5.50.
Yeah.
Although, and that's been going on for 25 years. Although they're one of the few companies that are giving more for the raise in price. They're saying that there's 33% more pepperoni on their pizzas than before on that $5 deal, which means 33%. To do the math, that means it's going to be 1 1/3 slices of pepperoni on the pizza.
Oh, now. Why you got a bag on Little Caesars?
Yeah, because I bag on everything. What can I say? It's my DNA. That's how I roll.
Are there paychecks coming into you from Domino's?
I don't even get free pizzas from Domino's. You would think. So, and I'm not allowed to get free pizzas for Domino's. So the nearest Domino manager ignored that. And I was just joking. Coming up, the Democrats' latest voting legislation. Now, there are 2 bills pending, and I'm going to go into them because it's a tiny bit wonky, but I want to differentiate and explain the importance and what's going to happen. This is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
We follow the news. You follow us. KFI.
KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Maybe a step closer to justice. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Arrests have been made in connection with a fatal armed robbery that took the life of an off-duty LAPD officer. LA County Sheriff Villanueva says 5 people were detained Tuesday, 4 of whom were arrested yesterday morning.
We're working hand in hand with the LAPD with their robbery homicide group, and I think the effort is paying off now. So we're going to bring some people to justice on that front. So that is positive news.
Fernando Arroyos died Monday night following a shootout with 2 of the robbers in front of a home west of Southgate. News is brought to you by Sweet James Accident Attorneys. The governor says he wants to spend $2.7 billion to beef up California's response to COVID-19.
Governor Newsom says he wants to build a viral response infrastructure so the state's ready for future pandemics, COVID-related or not.
We can do many things at the same time. We don't think we're taking our eye off the ball on the most important and pressing issues in the state. So right now, the most important and pressing issue is getting this pandemic behind us once and for all.
Newsom was in L.A. yesterday and said he wants to use the money to make more vaccines available, more boosters, and statewide testing, and increasing medical staffing to meet potential surges. He says he would also spend the money to combat misinformation. Steve Gregory, Kfi News.
More than 200 guns have been taken from felons in Southern California over the past 6 months. DEA OC Field Assistant Director Sarah Stefik says the gangs are buying the guns with drugs and vice versa.
The criminal organizations, from the cartels to the local street gangs, employ violence to further their illicit businesses and control territories.
Investigators say 37 of the guns were ghost guns and more than 40 felons were arrested. The two gangs that were targeted yesterday include the Brownwood Gang from Anaheim and Pico Nuevo from Pico Rivera. The sky will be the limit for some high school students in SoCal.
A weekend course will be held this spring at Ontario International Airport to teach high school students about all the different careers in aviation. Ontario Mayor Pro Tem Alan Wapner says the students will be given a behind-the-scenes look at an airport.
And then kind of explain to them, what's your interest, what do you like to do, and then find a place that they can actually utilize their interest in the aviation atmosphere.
Wapner says many people don't know about the different careers in aviation. Students from every district can sign up for the course on Mount Sac College's website. Blake Trolley, KFI News.
A top Russian diplomat says his country won't rule out sending troops to Cuba and Venezuela. Negotiations with the U.S. and with NATO have failed to satisfy Russia's security demands. Russian troops are amassed on the border of Ukraine. And the best city for tacos in the country is Huntington Park. The ranking list by Rent.com lists Avila's El Ranchito as one of the best places in the city for tacos. Owner Margarita Avila says the restaurant's been serving her mom's recipes for 55 years.
Our food is something that it's very similar. People feel comfortable here because it's like the same food that they have in their own houses. So it's not trendy. It's just more homemade, traditional type of Mexican food.
She says only about a dozen people outside her family know her mom's cooking secret. You got your drive on the 405.
Oh, I can't beat mom's cooking, that's for sure. Yes, indeed. I promised this last time around, if you were listening, coming out of the San Fernando Valley South 405. Always busy. There's a lot of volume here this morning. Things really get to be morning drives, so starting a little bit before Victory Boulevard going up and over the hill. Now, I was kind of interested in something maybe around Sunset Boulevard. The oil price is just plain busy. It usually is that right lane starts to back up, but when you get past Kennedy Center, might be something going on around Church. It just looks difficult getting off the freeway. It's very popular, that's for sure. However, after all that, pretty good drive to LAX, no problems there. We turned east over the Santa Monica Freeway. Eastbound's fine. Westbound's real slow. And we're headed out to a problem reported southbound 605 around Washington. I'll check it out for you. More coming up. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Fogg, KFI in the sky.
The Lakers lost to the Sacramento Kings last night. Russell Westbrook went a disappointing 2 of 14, while LeBron James did what he could by scoring 34 points. All of that on the way to a 125-116 defeat. James sounded subdued after the loss.
You're trying to gear up towards the playoffs. You want to be hitting your stride at the right time. So, we have 42 games now, 40 left. It's definitely been a roller coaster so far.
The Lakers' next game is Saturday against the Denver Nuggets. The Clippers will be on the road against the New Orleans Pelicans tomorrow. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
If you own a business and manage to keep 5 or more people on a payroll, there's a government program, too, out there that will pay you tens of thousands of dollars per employee. Now, that's pretty impressive. And it's not a loan, it's a grant. How do you get through it? How do you get hold of it? It's a complicated federal bureaucracy. So let me tell you about innovationrefunds.com. I have personal experience with them. They'll get you the money. They cut through the red tape. They are experts at helping businesses like yours get your money. And innovationrefunds.com does all the legwork. You not charge dime one until you receive the money, and then they take a percentage as a contingency arrangement. In another program, this is my story, they got my business a 6-figure refund. On this program, the average client gets $250,000. Go to innovationrefunds.com, click on the Qualify Me button, answer a few questions, then they take it from there. Innovationrefunds.com, that's innovationrefunds.com.
Being a real estate agent isn't about listing houses. It's about connecting to people. I need to find new buyers every day. So I promote my listings using radio commercials from iHeartAdBuilder.com. Now every time I have an open house, it's a full house.
A custom radio ad from iHeartAdBuilder is the fast, affordable way to drive customers to your business. Put the power of radio to work for you. Get started now at iHeartAdBuilder.com.
Your KFI financial report, the Dow is up 125, S&P up 8, NASDAQ up 21, and the average price of a gallon of unleaded gas in California is $4.65. Your SoCal weather from KFI. Today and tomorrow look a lot alike. So today it'll be mostly cloudy, highs in the mid-60s to the low 70s. Temperatures stay the same for tomorrow, but possibly by tomorrow afternoon, we will see some more sunshine. Right now, it is 58 right here in Burbank, 55 in Laguna Beach, 56 in Pasadena. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Good morning. Bill Handel here on a Thursday morning. It's January the 13th. And we now know real data that the Omicron variant is causing less severe illness than Delta. So that's kind of neat. And then there's news about the armor. Remember her? Helena Hutchins. Well, she's filed a lawsuit suing the prop supplier, claiming that the prop supplier provided live and dummy ammunition together in the same box.
Helena Hutchins, the victim.
Yes, I'm sorry, you're right. I stand corrected on that. Helena Hutchins is the victim. It was a terrible accident. And did you see everybody involved, how devastated they were? And I mean everybody on the set. And of course, they shut the set down, and it was god awful. All right, let's move into a real important story. And it has to do with voting. And it has to do with the ultimate division between Democrats and Republicans. And when you're talking about voting rights, it doesn't get more important than that. I mean, this country was founded on the ability of the people to govern. We are the sovereign, the people. And how do we govern? Well, we elect our officials. You know, we're not a pure democracy where everybody raises their hands to vote. It is a Republican democracy, which means that people vote for their leaders. Okay, with that being said, the point of all this, you have different parties, and you have different viewpoints, and then you compromise. That has been the history of legislation in this country. Well, those days are gone. That's for sure. And so what's going on are two bills have been introduced. One of them has a chance of passing. The other one does not. One of them is called the Freedom to Vote Act, and that was a compromise, but it's no longer a compromise. That's done because of politicization of the country. The other one, For the People Act, first introduced in 2019, is pretty expansive. And what that does is also called the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act, because John Lewis, of course, an icon of civil rights, and he died this past year. And what it is an update to the Voting Rights Act of 1965. It went in a different direction. We'll take existing law and we'll just expand on it. And we have a chance of making that happen because the 1965 law is already in place. And boy, you talk about bipartisanship. That didn't exist in 1965 when that bill was passed. There's a little bit of historical background. Lyndon Johnson was president. Lyndon Johnson, being a Democrat, he was Senate Majority Leader. He had been through the House. He had been a vice president. And then, of course, after JFK was assassinated, he became president. But for Vietnam, he would go down as the greatest civil rights president in the history of the United States, far surpassing Abraham Lincoln. He single-handedly came through and pushed the Civil Rights Act of 1965 by himself. He twisted arms, he negotiated, and he was the only person who could do that. This guy came up as a racist in Texas. I mean, the N-word was thrown around. He had no problem differentiating between whites and blacks, and he turned into this civil rights icon, and he should be an icon. But Vietnam destroyed all that. So, the two bills, and one is the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. It's also known as For the People Act. And then you have the Freedom to Vote Act. And what is the difference? Well, considering that both are in a deep trouble, the Freedom to Vote Act, which is a looser version, among them would restore federal voting rights to people with felony convictions, which is now illegal. They can't vote. And this allows them to vote, but only after being released from prison. There are now state-level limits on ex-felons not voting. 2 million people were stopped from voting in 2020, and that is because they were felons. Well, here's an interesting sidebar story. When the president of Israel, Yitzhak Rabin, was assassinated, the suspect, or the person that actually was convicted of doing that, was put in prison because they don't have the death penalty there. They only did it once in the history of Israel, and that was the Adolf Eichmann case. The election was coming up, and he voted. And he voted for Rabin's party. Go figure that. Anyway, we go on. The Freedom to Vote Act would outlaw partisan gerrymandering in congressional maps. This is a problem. And already it's got a few legal challenges because the states enact legislation and realign the districts. And all of a sudden, the feds are going to. Why? Because a lot of the states have Republican legislatures and have actually restricted votes. And that's the important one, is restricting or not restricting, and why? Well, one side, Democrats argue, you just don't want people of color to vote. What you want to do is set it up so only whites who have money are going to vote, or at least proportionally so. And the Republicans are saying, this has nothing to do with that. This is security for the elections. Look at the huge fraud that took place in the last election. Look at the fraud in the number of fraudsters that took place, about 400 in the country. And it's, what do you do with that? Well, I'm going to come back and finish this up and go through some of these bills and why they're probably not going to pass. And this may be the most important legislation that Joe Biden is going to introduce and push in his entire presidency. This is KFI AM 640, and let's check in with Jennifer.
Police in Virginia are accused of faking DNA evidence in criminal investigations. The state attorney general says the reports were discovered last April and used to get people to confess or cooperate. A popular cryptocurrency exchange is giving its staff 4 weeks of what it calls deliberate recharge time. Coinbase gave its workers a week to recharge in 2020 and 2 last year. The goal is to prevent burnout in the workforce. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are the biggest underdogs in the history of the NFL's wild card game. Odds released this week put the team as a 13-point underdog to the Chiefs for Sunday's AFC playoff game. We've got your drive with the KFI in the sky next.
If you're thinking about refinancing your home, if you're not thinking about it, I'm going to suggest you do. Interest rates are still historically low, which means the amount of money you pay back on the loan you take out is historically low. And so here's the equity you have in your house because the property values have gone up so high. And the interest you pay on the loan you take against that equity is still almost as low as it's ever been. What do? To refinance your house and put that money that's in the equity in your home to work. You make money with it. You can remodel, call it tuition, it really doesn't matter. Let me suggest contacting the folks at HMS Capital. I've done that twice, and I've known Mark Tice of HMS Capital. And HMS Capital is the only lender I know that actually encourages you to go to a competitor at the same time because they're that confident they can get you the best deal. Call 833-255-5698, 833-255-5698. Visit hmscapital.com.
HMS Capital Funding with the DBA Quality Finance, NMLS ID number 2427, HMS Capital Advisors under Department of Financial Protection and Innovation, under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, license number 0130360, equal housing lender.
We're checking out the 605.
But we like to keep our promises around here. Last time I mentioned a possible South 605 in Washington. Sure enough, we made beeline there, and there was fire department, a couple of vans to the shoulder. So if you're still around the 210, the San Jose Dixie coming south, not to worry. It's just a shoulder routine, a little slow going through. Now, we did make the transition ourselves to the always routine, westbound 105, and it is just that, especially getting through the 710 over towards the 110 and 110 towards Vermont. But it's still a fairly good morning drive. The Chrysler lane looking good. And again, as I speak here, we're just turning south coming out of Hawthorne Airport here, south on the 405. We're going to go back towards 710 and maybe a new problem now. We're just going to work maybe north 605 around Telegraph on the I-5. More on that coming up. Agent and accident. Visit superlawyer.com. Jeff Ball, KFI in the sky.
Sure, dude. You can come over to my place to watch the playoffs. I have hundreds of TVs and a 30-foot video wall. My place being Morongo, that is. And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
Yeah, hundreds of TVs and a 30-foot video wall and sideline with the Wahlburgers. You're not dreaming. It's Morongo.
Number 4.
Cozy gift giveaway. Get a 6-piece Martech towel set when you earn 500 points on your reward card, the 17th or 18th.
3.
Resolve to relax. Couples massages at Sage Spa are especially priced this month.
And the number 2.
98 Degrees, live January 28th. Get your tickets now.
And the number 1 reason.
Swipe and win. Get up to $100 cash or free slot play when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good times.
Let me tell you, I am so happy I went with SolarMax. Just wish I did it sooner with all the money I saved.
Right now, get SolarMax's offer Tesla 420 panels and power walls for $79.96 per month and 0 down.
Dial pound 250 for me, sell, and say the keyword SolarMax or go to solarmaxtech.com. Monthly payment available on a food credit. CSB number 972 for you.
Have you still not refinanced your mortgage? Well, soon you might be kicking yourself in the head. Rates are at historic lows. So take advantage of our new Fast Track loan with an unbelievable low rate of 2.375 rate and APR with a no closing cost 15-year fixed loan. That's right, no points, no fees. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Lennox Financial, a trusted lender for over 20 years. Even if you've refinanced in the last year, we can still probably save you money. All it takes is a 5-minute phone call to find out how you can save up to thousands of dollars a year. This amazing 2.375 rate and APR won't last long, and our new Fast Track loan process can get it done in record time. So call today, 844-425-3669. That's 844-425-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. Call us at 844-425-3669.
License by the Department of Business Development, California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender. Visit us at LennoxHomeLoans.com or call for additional cost information. Other restrictions apply. Rates subject to change.
As parents, we've done everything we can to keep our kids safe, happy, and healthy during this pandemic. From finding the best face masks to making sure their hands are clean. And now we have the best tool to help keep them even safer. The most important thing we can do is vaccinate our kids to protect them against COVID-19. Vaccines have been proven safe and effective for children 5 and up. Talk to your child's doctor or visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Want to pay off your 30-year mortgage in half the time? Network Capital is offering a low 15-year fixed rate at 2.25% with a 2.425 APR. Start off your new year with a lower rate and half the payment. If you're looking to lower your interest rate,